What if I told you that some of the most unforgettable songs of 1974 didn't come from long-running superstars, but from artists who only had one moment in the spotlight? Today, we're counting down 15 forgotten one-hit wonders from 1974, songs that lit up the radio, topped the charts, then faded into the background. From heartfelt ballads to disco grooves, these tracks made us feel something: joy, sorrow, nostalgia, and many of us still hum them today. Let's get started.
Goodbye to you, my trusted friend. We've known each other.
Number 15. Seasons in the Sun, Terry Jacques. This song began life as Le Moribond, a 1961 French-Belgian song by Jacques Brel, about a dying man bidding farewell. In 1963, the poet-singer Rod McEwen rewrote it into English, shifting its tone from sardonic farewell to tender goodbye.
Goodbye, my friend, it's hard to die when all the birds are singing in the sky.
Terry Jacques first secured the rights with hopes of producing it for the Beach Boys, but when they passed, he recorded it himself on his own label, Goldfish Records.
Pretty girls are everywhere. Think of me.
Released in December 1973 in the US, it entered the Hot 100 in January 1974 and on March 2 began a 3-week run at number 1. In Canada, it topped the RPM chart for 4 weeks beginning January 26, 1974.
See them, I'll be there. We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun.
By year's end, Billboard ranked it the number 2 song of 1974. The single sold an estimated 14 million copies worldwide, making it then the largest-selling international single by a Canadian artist. Despite that success, Jacques never had another major hit in the US. His name remains forever tied to this song.
We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun.
Over time, critics sometimes derided it as overly sentimental. In fact, it has appeared in polls of the worst pop songs ever recorded.
We had joy, we had fun, we had seasons in the sun.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were...
Number 14. Kung Fu Fighting, Carl Douglas. Carl Douglas was a Jamaican-born singer who had moved to England. By 1974, he had limited chart presence before this sudden phenomenon. Kung Fu Fighting was produced by British Indian musician Bidoo. The track started as a B-side, recorded in about 10 minutes. Bidoo layered in sound effects, hand claps, huss, martial arts exclamations, that turned a simple track into a novelty smash.
Here comes the big boss. Let's get it on. We do kung fu fighting.
When released, it shot to number 1 on the US Billboard Hot 100 and also topped charts in the UK, Canada, and Australia. Over time, it sold over 11 million copies globally, a staggering number for a so-called novelty song.
Chopping them up, they were chopping them down.
Douglas never matched that hit in the US, cementing his status as a one-hit wonder there. However, in his native UK, he had moderate follow-ups like Dance the Kung Fu. The song's cultural footprint is huge. It's been used in films, commercials, and as shorthand for 1970s disco novelty. Number 13. I Can Help, Billy Swan. Billy Swan wrote I Can Help in March 1974 at his home in Nashville, using a portable Farfisa organ borrowed from session musician Bobby Emmons. He recorded it at Young, Unsound Studio in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, alongside producer Chip Young.
You need a hand, I can assure you this. I can help. I got 2 strong arms. I can help.
Legend has it that while recording, Swan's dog tugged on his pants leg, creating an amusing studio anecdote. The organ, bass, drums, guitars, and vocals were mostly recorded direct, a minimal, live feel. To enhance atmosphere, Young and others overdubbed hand claps at the end to simulate a studio party.
When sleep and that you're always a part of my dream.
The song hit #1 on both the Billboard Hot 100 and the Hot Country Singles chart in November 1974, a rare crossover feat. It was certified gold by the RIAA.
Telling me everything I wanna hear.
Though Swan released other singles, none equaled this commercial success.
This call, you know how I feel about you. If I can do anything at all, let me help.
Number 12. Rock Your Baby, George McCrae. George McCrae stepped in as vocalist after Gwen McCrae, his wife, was delayed. The lead ended up being George's impromptu audition. Written and produced by Harry Wayne Casey and Richard Finch, the future Casey and the Sunshine Band, the track was one of the earliest disco anthems. Released in May 1974, it soared to #1 on the US Billboard Hot 100 and stayed there for 2 weeks. It also topped the UK charts for 3 weeks, making it a global hit. The song reportedly sold around 11 million copies worldwide. Rolling Stone later named it the #1 song of 1974 in their rankings. McCrae had further R&B chart presence, but never matched this crossover pop success. Number 11. Smokin, in the Boys' Room, Brownsville Station. Written by Cub Koda and Michael Lutz, this rock anthem was recorded in New York in late 1973 but broke big in 1974. The song captures teenage angst, sneaking off to smoke in the school bathroom, avoiding authority.
Up with your room. Everybody knows that smoking ain't allowed.
It begins with spoken narration before shifting into rock energy, a bold structure for 1970s pop. It peaked at #3 on the US Billboard Hot 100. Later, the song was covered by Motley Crue in 1985, helping introduce it to a new generation. Brownsville Station never matched this chart success, making it their signature track. Its rebellious spirit has kept it in classic rock radio rotation.
Everybody knows that smoking ain't allowed in school.
Hey, kid, rock and roll, rock on.
Number 10. Rock On, David Essex. Released in August 1973, the song gained momentum going into 1974, aided by its unique sonic texture. Essex's vocal references include James Dean and Elvis, evoking rock nostalgia even as the track feels futuristic. It uses minimal instrumentation, pulsing bass, sparse drums, echoed vocals, and hand claps.
Ooh, my soul. Hey, did boogie-doo, did ya?
In the US, it rose to #5 on the Billboard Hot 100. In the UK, it performed even better, reaching #3. Though Essex continued a fruitful career in the UK, this was his only major US hit.
And where do we go from here?
In 1989, actor/singer Michael Damian covered Rock On and brought it back into the US charts, giving it renewed life. The song remains a favorite among fans of moody, atmospheric rock. Number 9. Tubular Bells, theme from The Exorcist, Mike Oldfield. Mike Oldfield was just 19 when he released his self-titled album Tubular Bells in 1973, creating multiple layers of instrumentation himself. Though not composed for cinema, Tubular Bells became forever associated with horror after director William Friedkin selected it for The Exorcist. In 1974, a single version of Tubular Bells charted in the US, reaching number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100. Oldfield overdubbed most of the parts himself, guitars, keyboards, percussion, showing early studio virtuosity. The haunting melody and slow build made it one of the most recognizable themes in film history. While Oldfield followed with many albums, none matched the crossover impact of this track. Today it lives on in film, television, and in horror lore. It stands as a rare instrumental hit in the pop charts. Number 8. Beach Baby, The First Class. Though it sounds like a California surf hit, Beach Baby was recorded by British studio musicians under the name The First Class. Written by John Carter and Gillian Shakespeare, the lead vocals were by Tony Burrows, a prolific session singer. Released in 1974, it peaked at number 4 on the US Billboard Hot 100. In the UK, it only reached number 13, a surprising result given its sunny sound and feeling. The First Class was largely a studio project, so there was no long touring presence behind the song. Despite that, the song became a staple of nostalgic radio playlists. Number 7. Rock and Roll, Hoochie Coo, Rick Derringer. Derringer first recorded the song with Johnny Winter in 1970, but his 1974 solo version added punchy guitars and crisp production. Known for being a skilled guitarist, Derringer brought swagger and technical chops to this track. It climbed to number 23 on the Billboard Hot 100, giving him his biggest solo hit. Though Derringer continued working in music, producing, collaborating, this was the one solo song that pierced mainstream attention. The song's riff and energy made it a staple of classic rock radio. Many guitarists cite it as a memorable solo and performance piece. Its lasting presence proves that even mid-chart hits can endure in rock memory. Number 6. Hang On in There Baby, Johnny Bristol. Johnny Bristol was better known behind the scenes, writing and producing for Motown acts like Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell. In 1974, he stepped into the foreground with Hang On in There Baby, his debut solo single. Hang in there, baby. He wrote, produced, and arranged it, showing his full range of artistry. It reached number 8 on the US Billboard Hot 100 and number 2 on the R&B chart. In the United Kingdom, it climbed to number 3. Billboard described its sound as sensual and compared Bristol's tenor to elements of Barry White's style, though with its own flavor. It's sometimes labeled proto-disco, fusing soul with an early dance sensibility. Though Bristol had a long career behind the scenes, this remained his standout moment in the spotlight.
In the back.
Number 5. Be Thankful for What You Got, William DeVaughn. William DeVaughn, born in 1947 in Washington, D.C., was working as a drafting technician when he wrote Be Thankful for What You Got. The song began life as A Cadillac Don't Come Easy, and DeVaughn invested $900 toward recording the demo under a development agreement.
Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac.
He recorded the final version at Sigma Sound in Philadelphia, a studio known for its Philly soul sound. Backed by members of MFSB, Norman Harris, Rusty Jackman, Earl Young, Vince Montana, Larry Washington. The single was released in March 1974, and it reached number 1 on the US R&B chart and number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. It sold nearly 2 million copies on its initial release. The lyrics are simple but memorable. Though you may not drive a Cadillac, stand tall / be thankful for what you got. That line, diamond in the back, sunroof top, diggin' the scene with a gangsta lean, became iconic and heavily sampled in later hip-hop and R&B. Number 4. The Lord's Prayer, Sister Janet Mead. Sister Janet Mead was an Australian nun, Sister of Mercy in Adelaide, who dared to bring rock music into Catholic Mass, pioneering what became known as the Rock Massachusetts. In 1973, she recorded a rock-influenced setting of the traditional Lord's Prayer, music by Arnold Strauss, with producer Martin Erdman. The recording was first released in Australia, where it climbed to number 3 on the charts.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
The song then crossed into international markets, selling nearly 3 million copies worldwide. In the US, it made its mark, a rare case of a religious recording breaking into mainstream pop.
On earth as it is in heaven.
Come to Boston for the springtime.
Number 3. Please Come to Boston, Dave Loggins. Dave Loggins, a second cousin of Kenny Loggins, wrote Please Come to Boston from personal turmoil. It's a song about love torn between ambition and closeness.
Staying here with some friends and they've got a lot to run.
It was released in April 1974 and resonated deeply with listeners who knew the ache of distance and unfulfilled promises. On the charts, it reached number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, and also topped the easy listening chart.
Boston ain't your kind of town. Ain't no gold.
Interestingly, the song is often split into segments in live performance, verses directed to Boston, Denver, Los Angeles. That dynamic structure added to its emotional pull.
I'm the number 1 fan of the man from Tennessee.
Tell me a lie. Say I look familiar.
Number 2. Tell Me a Lie, Sammy Joe. Sammy Joe, born Jane Annette Job, was a country pop singer whose 1974 recording of Tell Me a Lie gave her national attention. The song reached number 21 on the Billboard Hot 100 and also peaked at number 14 on the easy listening, adult contemporary chart.
Tell me a lie. Say you just got into town.
Although Lynn Anderson had earlier recorded the song, Sammy Joe's version became the defining single in pop markets. The emotional core of Tell Me a Lie lies in wanting to hear a comforting lie instead of a painful truth, a bittersweet plea many relate to.
Tell me a lie. Don't worry about my sorrow. You'll be low. I've been driving all night, my hands wet on the wheel.
Number 1. Radar Love, Golden Earring. Golden Earring was a Dutch rock band formed in The Hague in 1961, making them one of Europe's longest-running rock acts. By the early 70s they had found success in Europe, but it was Radar Love in 1973 to 74 that put them on the US map. Written by George Coymans and Barry Hay, the track tells the story of a man on a night drive who feels a telepathic connection with his lover. I've got a feeling in my soul / Radar Love.
When she is lonely and the longing gets too much, she said.
On the charts, it peaked at number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1974 and also hit top 10 in the UK.
Radar Love.
Which of these do you still remember word for word? Which one made you pause and say, I forgot about that? Drop your favorite in the comments.